What is the story, everybody? This is Jonathan from Team ChainBlock coming at you with yet another deck profile. But as always, before we get into it, please like, comment and smash that subscribe button, as your boys are still desperately trying to get to 1,400 subscribers to be the biggest Yu-Gi tubers in our area. As always, check the links in the description. You'll find the link to Kong's cards and you can take advantage of our discount code ChainBlock5 for 5% off all your future and current purchases. Stampede pre-sales are here. The full card list is revealed. Head over to Kong's cards. Get yourself some Fualos, some Joytron support if you want that, some Fiendsmith stuff, as that was not hit on the most recent ban list. Speaking of, if it wasn't obvious enough by what you see in front of you here today, we are profiling for you true Draco, nearly at its full power. Yet, shout out Cal, his favourite card has been released from the ban list. The one masterpiece is real, because Masterpiece, the true Draco slaying king, is now limited in Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. So let's get straight on into it. Now, to be fair, this card has been limited for quite a long time, or banned even. So it's understandable that people may not know the turmoil that this card cost. Now, so basically what true Dracos do, pretty much all of them, is they tribute someone by tributing a continuous spell, traps or monsters. And what Masterpiece does is he can banish a continuous spell or trap from your GY to pop any card on the field during either player's turn. Now, you may not think that that's not that bad, but whatever it tributes via monster, spell or trap, that is what it's unaffected by. So potentially you contribute someone a continuous spell and monster, and then your Masterpiece with a pop each turn is unaffected by those two categories of the game. And it is also 2,950, so it's just really big, and with a certain field spell up, it goes to 3,250, so your blue eyes can't even swing over it. Incredible card. It is finally being released. I'm sure it'll probably go to 3 soon. But yeah, the boy is back. Let's get into the rest of his friends. So to go along with him, we have Dynamite, the true Draco Fire. Incredible card, water. They're all just a variation of archetypes. So they all have quick effects, usually in response to an opponent's card effect. And what Dynamite does is, or Draco Fire, you can take one true Draco spell or a true King continuous trap and then either add it to your hand or activate it. Really good. You get to tribute someone on your opponent's turn sometimes to activate certain stuff. Really, really good. Then we're playing one Ignis Heat. What he does, they all do the same thing, quick effect. So once per turn during either player's turn, when your opponent activates effect, if you control the tribute summon monster, you can take one true Draco or true King continuous spell and then add it to your hand or activate it. So spell and trap. And then maybe one of the best ones, probably underrated, is Majesty Maiden. She adds you a true Draco monster from your deck to your hand. So they all work off one another. This adds you a monster. This adds you a spell, trap, then you contribute someone immediately with some card effects. Again, and the card that I said, which is still limited to 1, so we nearly have the full deck at full power, is Draco Diagram. So you may think that this is just for popping little dinosaur eggs in your hand, but now what it does is all true Draco or true King monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. Again, usually the only way to out Masterpiece is to swing over it, as it doesn't have battle protection. But when you have other like face-up, stun, continuous spells, sometimes floodgates, and then a pop each turn, it's hard to stick anything that will just do anything to get rid of a Masterpiece. And then this really does help. And then obviously you can destroy one card in your hand to your field, and then add one true Draco or one true King card from your deck to your hand. Insane. Next we have Heritage. This is essentially draw power. We have Disciples. You can target 3 true Draco spell or true King cards in your GY and then shuffle them back into your deck and then draw one card, more draw power. And then immediately after this effect resolves, you can tribute someone. A few of them do that. Absolutely incredible. We have True King's Return and then 3 Apocalypse. Most of them, when they are tributed, they get to pop the spell or trap card on the field. So this one, the other true Draco or true King cards you control, you can target one of the true King or true Draco card you control, destroy it. And if you do attack and defense of off face of monster your opponent controls, become half their current attack and defense. Now, I specifically mentioned this one out because, as I said, usually the only way you can get rid of this guy is to swing over by battle, and this just makes it near impossible. It's probably your best defensive card. And then during your opponent's main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, you can tribute someone 1 true Draco or 1 true King. So again, it's just constant recursion. You're playing on your turn, you're playing on your opponent's turn, just normal summoning big, annoying, ignorant dudes. Really, really good. So that is it for the true Draco section of the deck. Let's go into some more draw power. So as I said, you're just normal summoning, so the fact that you're locked at a special summon if you activate Pot of Duality is really cool, that it just doesn't matter. It's kind of like Flu before Flu. We do get to play Card of Demise in this deck, and then just a bit of searching for our field spell is Terraforming. So we have an honorary True Draco here in 2 YuGiOh. You may have noticed this from Runic decks, but believe you me, it was running riot in True Draco long before Runic. It's just a really annoying card. And your opponent's monsters can't activate their effects unless they're spirit monsters. So that's just horrible, obviously. And then we do play, obviously, a lot of continuous spell or traps. And my personal favourite one is the Monarch's Erupt. Incredible card. As you may have noticed when we started this video, there was just the main deck and the field center. We do not play an extra deck just for this card, so you can activate this card only if you don't have any cards in your extra deck and you control a tribute summoned monster. Negate the effects of all face-up monsters on the field while those monsters are face-up on the field, except tribute summoned monsters. So basically, it's skill drain for your opponent, except for tribute summoned monsters. Now, if you run across a Flu player, that's unfortunate. But during your end phase, if you don't control a tribute summoned monster, you have to destroy this card. But in my opinion, it's absolutely worth playing no extra deck just to cancel out your opponent's monster effects. And next we have a really cool card which is being featured in Tomb Keeper. I'm sure you saw lots yesterday at the YCS. Is Apopus, the Swamp Deity. So this card is really, really good. It special summons itself as a normal monster. That's really, really important. But what it gets to do is you can negate the effects of face-up cards, not just monsters, your opponent controls, up to the number of continuous traps you control. Now, I had a ruling verified earlier where if you control lose one turn, and what this card does is, while a face-up monster is on the field, negate its effects, the turn that it is special summoned. So it's basically skill drain for special summoned monsters. But when this card isn't special summoned, it is then treated as a normal monster, and the rest of the effect is essentially the traps effect. It is one effect, and you do get to count this as a continuous spell and negate face-up cards in the field. Really, really cool. And then we're playing some of the one-offs. We're playing There Can Only Be One, Rivalry of the Warlords, Anti-Spell, and Skill Drain. So 4 of the worst continuous traps to ever grace the game, but the best thing is we can turn them off by tributing with the true Dracos. And then the last 3 cards in the deck is Solemn Strike. The side deck in this would be really important. You could side in Judgments. Back row removal is obviously prevalent, but obviously a lot of the true Draco continuous spells when they're tributed pop a spell or trap card. So yeah, that is it for the main deck, and we obviously have no extra deck. I'm just going to go into some quick honorable mentions. You can absolutely play set rotation. I've been testing this out. Shoutout Kinsley, we love this tech. You can set Oracle of Zephyr on your opponent's field, just making it so that he cannot activate a field spell, because you have to be able to add something to your hand for this to resolve. So your opponent just can't, because they need to have a Zephyr monster in deck, which they obviously won't. And then was testing Chicken Game. I was testing Pseudo Space because Diagram is still at 1. And then Shoutout Cal, this is really funny. You can absolutely play Domain. I'm not playing Domain because I want to special summon maybe 2 monsters. This is like the Buster Lock. It locks your opponent out of the extra deck if you don't have an extra deck. And you can just kind of splash this on them with Metaverse and just, it ends turns. So guys, that is it. True Draco is back. This is just my first adaptation of the deck. I'm sure loads more spice and people splashing it into other decks in the modern era will be revealed. But yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and see ya.